Ever since the day that you went away, you went away.
Hi guys, my name is Andra and I make mostly commentary videos. Today's video is just gonna be a little discussion on what has been happening in the past few days with Karmageddon, as people call it now. I wasn't gonna make a video on this because frankly I don't really like any of these people. James Charles is alright, but I'm not like an avid watcher of his content, but he's better than the others, I think, in my opinion, because he is younger, he has time to learn. The others are well in their 30s right now, and yeah, I just feel like it's kind of too late. That train, or that ship rather, has sailed for them. But I have said on my Gabi Hannah video something similar to this. I don't really care about Gabi Hannah, but because the conversation involved Jessie Smiles, who is a survivor, I promise that anytime there's a survivor story that comes up, I will be discussing it and enforcing or helping these women to spread their message across, because I feel like that is important for us survivors to uplift one another. So yes, Tati has said that she is an abuse survivor or sexual assault survivor, or we'll never know the details obviously, but she is a survivor. So from that perspective I stand with her. I do still disagree with a lot of the things that she has said, and that is not gonna change anytime soon unless the details of the lawsuit come up later. Obviously she cannot say a lot now, but if it ever comes to light, then I will declare whether I've changed my mind or not. But as it stands, I can see some of her points. I still feel like at her age she should have seen how problematic these people are, especially with all the receipts being readily made and readily available for her on the internet. She befriended Shane and Jeffree without doing any research on them, and that worries me. But I do still believe that regardless of your age, you can be manipulated by people, but I do still kind of think that she should have known, if it comes from someone like Jeffree especially, because he's had a history of doing this to people. So we're gonna talk about a few bullet points that I've written down. I don't want to make a video breaking down the whole scandal because everyone else has already done that. You can find it on any T channel. I want to talk rather about the consequences of this and about what is happening right now with these influencers with their social blades, because obviously nowadays people are looking at social blade for social proof, and it's not looking very good for them. So first I'm going to talk about some details on the scandal, and then I'm going to go on to the social blade and the exact numbers, because I feel like that is maybe boring to some of you. I love watching social blade. I love analyzing, and yeah, I do feel like some people might not want to see that though, so I'll just leave it until the end. And I'm going to talk about the scandal and what we found out and what might have a consequence later on. So first of all, do you see a pattern in Jeffree Star's behavior? And more or less Shane has mirrored Jeffree's pattern. I feel like if you are friends with someone who is, I want to say evil, and I feel like a lot of you will agree. So yeah, if you're friends with someone who's evil, you start developing the same personality as them by hanging out with them all the time. So Jeffree Star has used two women who have been abused in different ways. Blair White has said that she's a survivor, and now Tati's coming out as a survivor. And Jeffree and Shane, respectively, have been using these women because of their sensitivity to this issue. If you are a survivor and someone shows your recording, real or fabricated, you will not think rationally. If someone came to me with that recording, I feel like I would have probably done the same. And that is what makes this whole thing so hard, because as much as we want to say that if I was Tati and the same thing happened with a dear friend of mine, like how it happened to James, as much as I want to say I would have talked to James or whatever in private, I don't know if I would, because you're not thinking straight in moments like that. You are reliving your trauma. And I feel like Jeffree and Shane both knew that this is gonna be like a nuclear weapon to these women, because they are traumatized more or less. And for me that makes it so calculated and so evil and that is why I decided to make this video. Another point that I want to make is on the live stream that Shane has done right after Tati released her video. You probably have seen the live stream already. Did you notice that he calls Tati a liar when she says she was abused? You are a liar, you are fake crying while she says she was abused. How do you know that she's a liar? Were you there when she was abused? You don't know that, you cannot say that. And then you are coming out saying you were molested. What is this, the Oppression Olympics? I hate how men use their sexual assault stories or molestation stories to silence women from talking about theirs. Statistically, this happens to us a lot more. Male survivors do exist, and I do feel for them, but the numbers don't lie. And you, Shane Dawson, I don't believe you, because in your book, people have said that, like Shane in his book has said that he was not molested. He said something like, I was a pretty child or a cute child, so I'm surprised that I haven't been molested. And now you are coming out saying you have been molested. These two statements contradict one another. Let's give him the benefit of doubt for 1 second and say that maybe he's in denial and he wrote that in his book because he was coping with like trauma or whatever. I could potentially believe that if I could hear it coming from his mouth. Otherwise, I'm gonna choose to not believe that comment because you have a pattern of being a liar in the same way that Jeffree Star is a liar. And his initial apology video, actually, I did not like how he talked about the blackface and racist allegations for like 10 minutes. That's like half of the video. And then he addresses the pedophilia comments for like 1 minute. And for me, it's just the worst thing that you can do is rape a child. Like, that is the worst thing in the world. I do understand, maybe this is my white privilege speaking, but human trafficking and all that, for me, that's like the most painful thing. I cannot watch anything on that. I was old enough to know, I was almost 18, but there are girls who are 5 and they are going through that right now. And I do understand on Shane's part that might be a deflection of blame. It might be that he chose to talk about racism because that's the easier one to address. You know, the humor used to be racist back then, whatever. Like, there are more arguments for that. For the pedophilia one, there's just no excuse. The blackface stuff, everyone on YouTube used to do that. Personally, I've never thought, oh yeah, I'm just gonna like paint my face black today. Like, I've never thought of doing something like that in my life. But I do know that it was a trend back in the day. So I can understand that. But the other jokes, like, it makes me sick thinking about it. So let's talk about the consequences. So Shane Dawson's 3 YouTube channels have been demonetized. Target is gonna be removing his books, and Morphe has removed Conspiracy Palette, and that is just weird to me because Morphe have declared that they think Jeffree Star has reformed, he's apologized and made amends. Like, where are these amends? Because I'm not seeing any improvement on Jeffree Star's behalf. He just ran for the hills and is not addressing this. He's not defending his friend, even though his friend defended him, and that's why Shane got into this mess. Another thing that I have seen is on Facebook Marketplace. Me and my cousin were on the marketplace for the UK, and literally everyone is selling Jeffree Star's makeup, and I thought that's great that so many people are waking up to this, because I do feel like Jeffree Star is not getting enough heat right now, and it's all falling to, you know, Shane Dawson. And I wish Jeffree Star got the same hate right now as Shane, because I think he is the big problem here, not Shane, even though Shane is pretty bad too. Obviously, I talked about how uncomfortable his jokes made me, but I think like Jeffree is pure evil, and he would manipulate anyone. He would step over any person to get where he wants, and I don't like that. Trisha Paytas actually came out with a video in which she defended pretty much Shane, and she said that the things that were said about her and Jeffree, that Jeffree was rude to her, are true. So I'm glad that she's not defending Jeffree anymore, but at the same time, I don't understand how she can defend Shane and still be friends with him. And also, call out his bad jokes when she did a lot of racist stuff too. She did a lot of problematic stuff. She made a joke about being sexually abusive to her boyfriend. She's made jokes about underage people the same way that Shane has. So the self-awareness in that video is minus infinity to me. Like, I wish she would acknowledge her own shit before she says that Shane's jokes are bad, but I forgive him. It's not your job to forgive him. We don't really care about your opinion. Everyone is agreeing with Trisha. I don't really see why, but yeah. And Trisha's lied as well about Tati calling James Charles a predator. She never said that. She said he was inappropriate. She said it made her uncomfortable. She never called him a predator or a danger to society. That was all Jeffree Star. He took things out of proportion. He ran with the information that Tati said and enhanced it by 100 times. And by now you probably have seen that Jeffree Star has been lying about his whereabouts. He says he's going to his grandma, but he used a picture from a few years ago. And he's not defending Shane. Like I said, Shane called him his family, defended him, got into this mess because of him, and now he's MIA, and I think that's horrible. I hope Shane never talks to him again because, frankly, Jeffree Star just ruined his career. At the same time, Jeffree's career is not that wounded. I think it will survive a lot better than Shane's, and I don't like that because it all started with Jeffree. And Jeffree should be the one to receive the first punishment. Everyone else is just collateral damage at this point in this particular drama or conflict or whatever. The thing with Jeffree is that he's called survivors liars before, namely survivor of Davi Vanity called Damien. I don't think that this person should be forgiven. Shane Dawson is not a pedophile in my opinion. He has made jokes that are out of order 100%, but I don't think he's a pedophile, whereas Davi Vanity is a pedophile and Jeffree Star is covering for him. And I just want to know what Davi has on Jeffree, or like what is going on with that, because Jeffree has been friends with numerous abusers, let's say, and somehow he's getting a better reception out of the two of them. Everyone is saying Shane is worse than Jeffree and stuff, but like, in my opinion, Jeffree's still the worst one. And the new information with Jeffree being the owner of Morphe, I don't believe it, what Tati said about that. I do think he might have stocks in the business. He might be one of the investors, even though Morphe is denying it. And I do feel like if that ever comes out to be true, then Jeffree's gonna be in big trouble with the FTC because he's always sponsoring Morphe products without declaring that he works for them or with them. And that is illegal in America, so let's see what comes out of that, I guess. Ultimately, I feel like the whole thing is just about vitamins that Morphe is gonna make. There is a registered trademark for Wonder Bears by Morphe. The receipts I've seen on another drama channel, I'm gonna be writing on the screen somewhere. Yeah, I feel like that is why Morphe and Jeffree wanted Tati out, because of the vitamins, in the same way that Tati wanted James out because he promoted her rival. And I feel like all these vitamins are scams anyway, so I don't understand why everyone is like so crazy about it, but yeah. And in the meantime, I guess James Charles just being unproblematic and just like chilling. He hasn't been really active. I'm happy to hear that him and Tati have made amends somehow, because I know that there must have been a lot of love between them in the past. You know, I can't help but think that this is all a big distraction and Shane is the scapegoat for Jeffree's reputation to remain intact. And I hate it. I just want Jeffree to be demonetized because of the shit that he's done to people and the whole Davi Vanity thing. There are at least 21 people that we know of, a lot more, probably in the hundreds, that are being affected by this, and Jeffree doesn't care. So yeah, I guess I just want to see them both take the same amount of heat, because I do feel like Jeffree is pretty happy that this is all falling on Shane right now, and that's why he's been quiet. Let's see if he comes out with a video. Maybe it's gonna be insane, maybe it's gonna continue, but hopefully he's gonna get what he deserves as well. I'm just gonna talk a little bit about the social blade of the 4 people involved in Dramageddon and now in Karmageddon. Tati, Shane, Jeffree, and James Charles. So Shane has in the past month lost 500,000 approximately on his Instagram. He also lost almost 300,000 on his Twitter, and he lost 1 million followers on his YouTube, which is insane. And Jeffree has lost a little less. He lost 126,000 followers on his Twitter. I don't know how many on his Instagram because he's made it into a personal page or creator page. You can only see Social Blade for business pages, which I feel like it was strategic on his side maybe. I don't want to speculate too much, so just say this was alleged information. And on his YouTube channel, Jeffree Star has lost 400,000 followers in the past month. And moving on to Tati, she's doing pretty well because she's regained most of the followers that she lost on Twitter. Probably since she uploaded a video, people have seen it and now are on her side with the survivor story, which I feel like it makes me more sympathetic towards her, but I'm still not on her side, to be honest, because I still find it so weird that she just like went MIA and then did all this. I don't know, I'm a bit conflicted on her, to be honest. She's lost 110,000 subscribers on her YouTube channel in the past month. Now moving on to James, because he's been gaining consistently and I think he deserves it after all that these people have done to him. His monthly average on Instagram is 664,000 followers. His average on his Twitter for a month has been 326,000 followers, and on his YouTube he's also been gaining consistently. In the past 30 days he's gained 500,000 subscribers, so congratulations to him. He deserves this after all the shit he's been through. At least something good came out of it for him. And I don't know how I feel about all this scandal, to be honest. I might cover if Jeffree Star makes a response or if something else important happens. People are saying that they want Nate to come out with something. I feel like that would be something that we all need to find out the true colors of Jeffree Star. Well, we all know what they are, but to have a confirmation would be great. But I don't think he would, because he doesn't seem to like the limelight so much. So I don't really know what's next. Unless Jeffree makes a video, then we might have to settle for this. I do wish that it were Jeffree who also lost 1 million rather than only half of that on his YouTube channel. And Shane's career is probably over now in social media, unless he goes on like Yuna or some other thing, because YouTube demonetized him. I think it's only gonna be for 3 months, but I do feel like people might not come back for his content after that. If you look at his apology, the like to dislike ratio was really bad and he was deleting comments that were negative towards him. So I don't know if there's any coming back for him. I feel like Jeffree might walk because he's like a snake, so he's just like hiding from all this. I don't know. But yeah, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more. I might make a continuation of this. I don't really know what to say, to be honest. I've been preoccupied so much with other things that are not related to YouTube. We went protesting the other day for Palestine. So if you care about stuff like that, social causes, you can follow me on my Instagram or donate. I have links, I have resources, I always post about it on my stories. So yeah, if you care about that stuff, check out my Instagram as well. It's gonna be in the description down below. Thank you so much for watching and I'll see you next time.
Ever since the day that you